So, anti-ICE rioters have now seized control of the road outside Minneapolis, blocking vehicles to ensure occupants aren't Nazis before allowing them to pass. It's just what I said. They're introducing their own traffic stops and ideological traffic stops.
That's what a Nazi would say.
Not a Nazi!
Look at it. Look. And then you have this here. Rioters are attempting to break down the fence outside Minneapolis ICE facility. Yet another rioter jumped in and said, "We don't have the numbers yet." Look, we're gonna break it down, guys, break it down. Oh, and look at this here, guys. Anti-ICE protesters stormed the Capitol. I've seen this before. Uh-huh. Yep. Asylums. Yep, this is in Minnesota. Look at them, bro. Jesus. So they tried to have a protest, and this is it. They're fighting now. Yeah. Wow. So this is over in Florida.
You need to tune back in and listen to this.
Okay, let me listen.
The reason that you see ICE flooding into Minnesota and Minneapolis, they refuse to turn over the illegal immigrants who are being arrested by the local police department where there's outstanding ICE warrants. It's the laws that they've passed that's created the environment for ICE to have to go in there and do it all on their own.
This messaging needs to be spread way more. Not holding these people accountable when they get arrested is causing all of these secondary problems to happen.
They're telling the city, the county, or the state prison system, turn these illegals that have committed crime back out into the community on our...
Isn't this insane?
All of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been... You don't see that happening in Florida. It's created by the law and the practice and the policy of the elected officials at the state level, the county level, and the city level, telling them to oppose federal law. Now, why in the world you want those people in those positions that think it's all right to oppose the law? That's why we call this the free state of Florida, because we're for the people. They're for the criminals.
And I think their game plan is this: keep pressuring. There will be no legal pushback. There will be no like local government pushback whatsoever that will entertain some kind of like constitutional crisis, because Democrats always are too fearful to actively defend their own constituents. And eventually people recognize that reality. People recognize that there is no more defense. There is no local government that's coming to save you, and they take matters into their own hands. And in that process, when people take matters in their own hands, there's bedlam, there's chaos, there's violence, and there's even more violence in an effort to suppress said chaos and the violence for people who are engaging in an oftentimes legal act of self-defense. That is where we are headed. That is where we are headed down. That is the direction we're headed down. This guy said there's no way we wait for the ballot box. We need to go to the bullet box. The people are done.
And murdering people for trying to flee and for obeying a command to leave the area, and then shooting her in the face like that after she drops her kid off at school. We have to show up with guns. We have to. There's no other way around it. I don't care if I don't have a Minnesota carry permit. I'm unarmed right now, but this is the last time I show up to face these guys without a weapon. There's no way. I got shot with a pepper ball 5 minutes after walking in here. I never laid a finger on them. I never raised a hand to them. I've only been using my voice. The time for speaking is over. The time for niceties is over. The time for peace is over. They fired the first shot. It is time to end this by any means necessary.
Under different circumstances, I would say this guy is a Fed or something. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think this guy's a Fed. I think a lot of people are unimaginably fed up. It's gotten to a point. And for many of you that haven't experienced this kind of thing, right? You can't imagine what it feels like when you have, when when, as an American citizen, your whole life you have been taught that this is a nation of laws. Okay, there's rules in play. That actually are supposed to keep these kinds of repressive forces at bay. There are rules that are supposed to stop the government from behaving like this. And it turns out those rules only matter if both parties in the duopoly that we have are playing by said rules. And if one party decides, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it, I have unchecked power, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and the other party just keels over and says, go ahead, there's nothing we can do about it, then people inevitably come to terms with this new reality. The reality that is very different than what they've learned about American existence. And I think that's where a lot of people are right now, especially a lot of people who experience this kind of violence, experience this kind of suppression. People that actually see it in their neighborhoods eventually say, I'm fed up. It's bullshit.
I mean, you're talking about, potentially going to a dark place in this country. Do you foresee...
We're there. This is the dark place. This is the dark time. We have people being sent to Salvadorian concentration camps. We got other countries being raided for their oil. We're in the dark time. There's no way out of this. There's no voting our way out of this. We can't wait till November. There's no waiting to the ballot box. We need to get to the bullet box. That's the only way. If there was another way, I'd be advocating for it. I've spoken peacefully. I've marched peacefully. I marched without Sharpton. I marched on Washington. I've been peaceful. I've acted peacefully. The time for peace is over. The time for any means necessary is right now.
Yeah, he needs to be arrested and thrown in prison. The tree of liberty must be refreshed with the blood of patriots and tyrants from time to time, but you're not the patriots here, you're the tyrants. Yeah, you're right. The tyrant in this circumstance is the random guy who's fed up with the unconstitutional Gestapo force busting down people's doors and like murdering them at certain points. That's, famously throughout history, those guys have been the real patriots. The SS, the real patriots, and not the people who are resisting against the SS. Those were the tyrants. Yeah, the real tyrants were the Jewish people that were thrown in concentration camps, the socialists, the communists, the trade unionists. Those were the real tyrants. And the real patriots were the fucking Nazis. Is that the argument you're presenting here? Holy fuck.
这场发生在明尼阿波利斯的冲突，已超越单纯的执法正义，而是美国社会迈向失控动荡的缩影。我们持续分享了几期影片，不是单纯为了吃瓜看戏。好了，我承认有部分是，不过更多的是回看台湾的现状，类似的政治对立，类似的领导风格。再次透过 Asmon 与 Hasan 的交锋，我们看见的是一个正在加速崩解的国家现状。Asmon 的观点守护住文明的最后一道防线，守法即正义。他警示着，一旦规则被情绪与暴力取代，社会将沦为强凌弱的丛林。然而 Hasan 揭开了更令人心惊的现实：社会契约如果沦为废纸，当联邦权力已被视为纳粹盖世太保式的姿态闯入社区，而地方政府却只呼吁民众收集影片证据，没有具体保护作为时，原本稳固的政治分权已演变成一场各行其事的内耗，将平民推向火线。最危险的警讯在于那种从投票箱转向子弹箱的绝望感。当极端左翼民众与联邦特工在街头武装对峙，这不再是民主的辩论，而是内战阴影下的混乱预演。美国目前正处于一个失速坠落的转折点，当权力失去了道德的制约，而法治失去了人民的信任，联邦与地方为了政治利益相互斗争，平民剩下的只有失控的愤怒与武装的恐惧。我们正目睹社会契约在余烬中燃烧，这场混乱的走向极可能是一条通往黑暗且无法回头的单行道。我们关心的是，台湾的政治现状在不远的未来会走向更极端的对抗吗？